Congratulations. And, how do you feel yourself? Are you tired after so hard matches and hard weeks?
Sorry, tired after 2 matches, you said?
After all tournament.
Oh, well, we feel great to have been able to win the tournament. We're very excited to have done it without losing a match. We felt that we built confidence throughout the week because we've escaped a few very close matches early on the tournament. And today, towards the end of the match, I felt we both played pretty good. So obviously very relieved to have won the tournament and excited.
And are you going to play together in the next future, in the next year?
Yes, we have plans to have a little break now and then start our circuit in Australia. So looking forward to improve little things here and there and keep working.
It was a hard part of season between Wimbledon or Roland Garros and US Open. Why? Why it's not so good a result in this period?
I mean, that's a tough question. For whatever reason, I think we got off our game a little bit. Maybe I think the biggest weakness, I think, maybe was not putting enough balls in play. We were returning poorly, both of us, and we serve well usually, but if we're not making any returns, it doesn't matter. Who we're playing against. People can return our serves pretty well on any given day, and then they're going to beat us if we're not returning their serve. So I think that happened for a few months where we were quite inconsistent, and it's something that we thought about a lot before the fall season started, and really made some adjustments, and we came out pretty strong in Asia. And one thing we wanted to do after winning Shanghai was continue playing, and we didn't want to sit back and enjoy that win. We wanted to continue playing. We played some smaller tournaments and tried to get as prepared as possible for here.
And which of matches here was most hard, most close?
Well, the first match and the third match, the first match I thought we came out really well, but then kind of let our opponents back in it a couple times, and then it seemed like a match that we should have won a little more straightforward, and then by the end, we were lucky to win because our opponents had a pretty good lead in the tiebreaker, and then the third match was, those guys, played great, hit a couple fortunate shots, and then had us on the ropes, and we just hung in there, and then it seemed like they got nervous a little bit, and things turn around so fast, and another match where we just hung in there, and then they couldn't really put us away. I thought maybe they were a little bit nervous, and then we turned it around at the end. We played pretty solid, and then played great in the semis, and very, very tough on serve. And then today, a little bit, I think everyone was pretty nervous on the court at times, and but maybe a little bit more experience in them in the big matches showed at the key times.
You guys couldn't have put together a better first season. How did it actually come together for you? Are you pretty surprised, or?
No, I mean, we started pretty well in Australia. We made the semis, and we won Memphis after that. And I don't think surprise is the word. I think we're very satisfied, and there was a little lapse there for a few months in between the French Open and the Asia swing, which we want to correct. And I think, but we learned from it, and we're doing things better. We're learning from our mistakes, and one thing for us, I think it's important to keep playing, and I think we had that break after Wimbledon before Washington, and we came out like two guys that hadn't played tennis in a while in Washington, and so I think little things we learned from putting more balls in play as well, and staying aggressive at the same time. We really worked out some kinks in Asia, and then we're pretty professional. We do the little things, and it carried over to here.
Do you ever think you've won 3 out of 4 of these in the past? Well, 3 out of the past 4 years.
No, I didn't really think about it. I mean, obviously, it's 6 weeks ago. If you would have asked me if we would have won this, I would, be surprised. But the way we've been playing in the fall, it's not. I wouldn't say surprise. It's just you know, it's just one of those things. There's a lot of good teams here. I think I told you before the tournament started, our group was, you know, one of those groups where anything can happen and any one of the 4 teams can win the tournament, and fortunately it was us.
What kind of tactical advantage do you get out of having a right and a left-hander in a doubles team? I know that several of the teams in this tournament were set up that way. So what kind of advantage do you get?
Well, not only looking at this tournament, you know, looking back with the Woodies and the McEnroe Fleming, and ultimately this is what works best. You know, the Bryans for many years dominating with righty-lefty combination. It's a strategy that you built. You know, we see Bryans are positioned on opposite ends than say the Woodies or McEnroe Fleming were. So whatever works best, but with having a lefty and then righty serve every consecutive time, you know, the opponents have to get used to the spins, and you know, with lobbing it also could be a little bit tricky because you got to be farther away from the lines to get to their backhand. So well, as history shows, that this is what works best. So I'm fortunate to be part of a lefty-righty combination. In the past, that wasn't the case for me. I've always had the right-handers, which were also good players, but having a southpaw certainly complicates things for the opponents.
And I bet a bit more of a general question, but when you're preparing for a doubles match, do you practice different patterns of play based on who you're going to be facing?
Well, we certainly aware of what needs to be done against who we're playing, but at the same time we know what our games revolves around, and it's there's no secret about big serving, and we have to be dominant and cover the net well. So we're aware of 2 things. One is our game, what needs to be done for us to play successful, and also a few little adjustments that we have to make per opponent to opponent basis.